What's going on, beautiful people? Welcome back to another episode of Overthinking Understanding Podcast. Got another special guest for you. I'll let her introduce herself. One of my battle buddies, somebody I consider a close friend. How long we known each other? Like, it feels like forever.
2018?
Yeah, we by 2018, the end of 2018. So really going on.
Almost 3 years.
Ooh.
Hey.
The army is weird though, but you meet those people, you get some good connection. Man, JoJo click from the start. So I'll let you. Well, yeah. I'll let her introduce herself.
In the short sense, I go by JoJo Serious.
Yeah, shout out that social media.
You can find me on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. I've been knowing more for about 3 years now, and we've been kicking it. She was my sponsor when I moved out here to the DMV. We both chefs in the military and whatnot. That's it, really. Go on my social media and find out a little bit more about me.
Yeah, follow that JoJo Cuisine. She be cooking in the air and everything. What's cool about JoJo's story, not too many people come from other MOSs and be a cooks willingly. Like, if you fail a school, like in our AIT, if you fail a certain AIT, they'll send you to be a cook. But when JoJo used to be an MP, she like, I picked being a cook. I thought she was crazy. Like, I like, you pick slaving, getting cussed out for grits and bacon? Like, I don't even know. But I guess it's the same thing. So a lot of people, I know everybody that listens to my podcast is not in the service, but a medic, an MP, and a cook, we have some of the most craziest hours. With that being said, we are filming this episode on Veterans Day. It's not going to be dropped on Veterans Day, of course, but we are filming it on Veterans Day. So shout out to every veteran out there, the ones who passed, present. Most definitely. So shout out to y'all. I've been in 7 years. What you been?
9 years in March.
9 years in March. So shout out to all the veterans across all the branches. You know, it's a different breed of people. You know, that's one thing that somebody can't take away from you. No matter if you serve 1 year, 2 years. I ain't gonna say
Air Force, Navy.
Yeah, Air Force, Navy. No matter what branch, we all
Space Force is brand new. Like,
man, they got space. So I just learned, cause we know we got Space Force, but they got Future Command, and I've been flying them. I've been flying these people, but I didn't know. I'm like that. So they got a Space Force, they got a Future Command, and there's one more. And I'm like,
Space Force.
They got some. I'm like, what is Future Command? What? But that's dope that the Army is evolving and is moving like that. So that's real dope. Tell them a little bit about yourself. You shot it out your social media. You ain't got. She got a fur baby.
All right, so my name is JoJo. I go by JoJo. I do have a fur baby. Her name is Coco. She's on my social media as well, my Instagram. She JoJo Serious. I've been in the military almost 9 years now. In a few months it'll be 9 years. I love what I do. I love cooking. I love whatever you throw at me, really. Like, they say that a lot about cooks. Like, you can do almost every MOS out there.
Yeah.
But it's not the same. Like, every MOS can be a cook.
It's not.
Fact. Like,
yeah, it's not. Everybody can't serve. Everybody can't deal with customers. But people be so hard on cooks. We have to know. I remember when I first came in, this guy told me, like, being a cook, you have to know the 10 level of everybody's job. And the 10 level, like I say, I know everybody's not in the service. The 10 level is the basic level. That's like a private, all the way to E4. So it's saying you should know the basic level of everybody MOS, because people are so much harder on cooks. So that's why cooks, we're going to talk about it today, actually. We're talking about, I guess I can introduce the topics. So today's topic is going to be self-confidence and self-discipline. But as a cook, once we do our job well and we know that not only are we good cooks, because being a cook is hard anyway. Any chefs could tell you, you in the kitchen with somebody, it's hard. Because I don't want to, it's not like a fraternity. It's just, I don't know, it's hard. Because you gotta have your skills or they're going to tell you about yourself. So, it's like, I don't think I've met more trash talking people than a cook. Like, cooks talk some trash. Yes. Cook gonna talk some trash. So people be like, you gotta have thick skin. No, you gotta stand up for yourself. I don't care how thick my skin is. You ain't sitting up there talking crazy to no alligator. Like, you not finna be talking to me crazy. No. I mean, it's true, though. Talking about some thick skin. No, you ain't talking to me. My skin is thick, all right? But my tolerance for disrespect is not. So, that being said, no, but it's all good. So, shout out to the veterans. Special shout out to Mo3 family, the HSM family. If y'all don't know Mo3, not familiar with Mo3, he is a Dallas, Texas legend. Everybody don't feel that way. I feel that way. This is my podcast, so I'm going to say it. He's a Dallas, Texas legend. He was killed today on the freeway a year ago today, so shout out to him. I only cried for 3 celebrities. Kobe Bryant, Nipsey Hussle, and Mo3. Only celebrities that died. I remember when my mama and them was crying for Michael Jackson, I'm sitting on the carpet like, you don't even know this man. My mama playing Michael Jackson when he died, sitting on the carpet. I'm like, this dude a pervert. Like, why is you crying for this man? Because you a kid, you don't know no better. Of course, like, I listen to Michael Jackson and stuff now, not taking away the allegations, nothing like that. But, like, you know, he was talented young man. That's exactly how I feel about Mo3. I stayed in North Dallas for about 8 years of my life. So coming from those apartments and just anybody who make it, it's hard to make it out of Dallas, period. So anybody who make it out of Dallas, we know him from Mo3, not Melvin, not the name that his mama gave him, but that man made the world know his name by his talent. And that's the same thing I try to do through my podcast. So I don't want y'all to know just Victoria Moore. Like, I want y'all to know Kay. I want y'all to know that's the chick from Overthinking Understanding. So from him to be from Dallas and leave his legacy like that, and everybody's playing outside, which that's a newer song that he came out with. He got a whole catalog of music. Mo3 could sing, he could rap, he could act, he could do all of that. So, you know, long live Mo3. You know, rest in peace. Get your rest into the other side. So without further ado, I already introduced the topics, but I'm sorry, I already introduced the topics, but I'm gonna introduce them again. We're gonna talk about self-confidence, self-discipline, and this episode came from actually one of my little friends that I communicate with often, and she was just like, you know, you very confident. She's not the first person to tell me, and I tell people like, I don't feel like I'm a very confident person. I just really, at a certain time I stopped caring about what people had to say because I understood that people will always talk, whether it's good, whether it's bad, whether people done did what you did, whether people have never did what you did. People are going to run their mouth. So for my sanity and for my self-esteem and me not going crazy, I'm like, I don't care. So it comes off as confident, but it's just like I care more about what I think about myself than what you think about me. And then with self-discipline, like I say, you know, if you listen to my podcast, I'm a big person on reading the Bible. And throughout the whole Bible, at the end of the day, like, that's one of the big lessons that I took from it. I done read through the Bible back and front 4 or 5 times. But one of the biggest lessons I took away is I'd rather tell myself what to do or, you know, listen to what the Heavenly Father tell me what to do before I let another human tell me what to do. And even though I signed up for the Army and I'm in the service, it's still the same thing. Like, any NCO that's done had me, they'll tell you, like, she came in that way. Korea was my first duty station. I had one of my first NCOs. Like, you know, you came in for the Army like you've been in the Army. So that's self-discipline is a big thing to me because I'd rather do it for myself than do it for you because discipline and self-discipline has a totally different definition. I think the definition for discipline is like codes that somebody follows, punishments that are enforced to make somebody follow something, and then self-discipline is something that you take upon yourself to get what you need accomplished. So that's how I feel about that. How you feel about it? How you feel about self-confidence, self-discipline?
Well, I think self-confidence is self-awareness within yourself on how you see the world, how you want to pursue things. You have the courage, the personal courage, and the ability to overcome your fears and just accomplish your goals and stuff like that. So
we gonna have Siri read the definitions.
Yeah,
they're gonna have Siri read them. Hold up, we got Google too, cause Siri has some other stuff going on, but we gonna read the definitions for y'all.
Siri, what is the definition of self-confidence? definition of self-confidence?
All right, while Siri having technical difficulties, we'll get Siri up. I'm gonna read the definition for self-confidence. Someone who is self-confident behave confidently because they feel sure of their abilities and values. So how you feel about that? How you feel about that definition?
I mean, I think it's spot on. Like, it is your self-values, you have morals, so you want to be able to pursue that without feeling pressure, peer pressure, or someone having a per se of what they think it is, and now you're going off of someone else's belief versus your own personal values. So that's definitely that's on point right there.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think abilities and value is the same thing. Just like they say, abilities. A lot of stuff people want to know already. Just like when I get into this podcast thing, like, you get better as you do it. You sitting there literally talking to yourself. Even though I'm talking to y'all and I'm speaking as if I'm talking to y'all, and every listener that supported me, I appreciate it. But when I shoot my podcast, it's me. I know I'm getting it out there to the consumers, but it's me, and it's easy for people on the outside to be like, you are so confident, like, I wish that I could do it. And I'm telling them, like, you can. Get in front of a camera and talk. Like, that's literally all I do it. But I just believe in my ability to get better. And, like, anybody that's done did anything worthwhile in life, they understand, like, you're going to fail when you first do it. You're going to fail and you're going to learn. Unless you get on a job, like, if I wasn't in the service, or even if I am in the service and I was interning, like, on somebody else's podcast, and I got to watch them do it and this, that, and third, I didn't. You know, I got to watch on YouTube and seeing, like, okay, I kind of want to structure my podcast like that. Or I like the way that they do this. Or I like the way that, you know, they don't let nobody tell them what they supposed to talk about on their podcast. But it's not necessarily confidence. I just believe, and I say it all the time, I believe in my ability to figure it out. And that's exactly what I do on my podcast, what I have done. Like, you know what? I'm going to start writing down my episodes. I'm going to start writing down outlines. I'm going to start writing down key points that I want to hit. And I'm not saying that it's not confidence. I just feel like sometimes people think you, like, confidence can't be built, or you just gotta have it, or you gotta, like, it's just like faith. It could a mustard seed, like, it's a little bit of confidence can take you so far. Because I feel like, and it's my personal opinion, a lot of people in the world now don't really have confidence. So they let people put their confidence on them, like, oh, congratulations, you did this. I feel like if you have to compare yourself to somebody else, or you let somebody else compare other people to you, then I feel like your self-confidence is not as high. And like I say, it's my opinion. In the Army, we do it all the time. Like, if you look at what somebody else doing, I feel like sometimes it can make you slack. Like, you know what? I'm looking around and I'm doing better than everybody that I work with. And you like, okay, so I'm good. I'm at the top. But you at the top where you work at. Like, it's 10,000 other people out there. So I feel like you got to beat yourself and never let nobody put you in competition with yourself, because the moment you start looking outward, you're not going to continue to work on what you need inward. And it's too much stuff we got to work on to be worried about what somebody else doing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
100. I agree.
You got to talk to the mic.
I agree. Yeah, it's a lot to do with your own self-confidence, your own beliefs, and like what you said, you don't want no one to put pressure on you on what to think, how to perceive the world. Like, you have to believe in yourself. You can't just go off of what other people think of you, what other people think, what they want you to believe, what's going on in the world outside.
Yeah.
Like, it's all about your beliefs. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. And then, like, on the values part, like I said, I went to MRT, Master Residency Training. It's a course in the service. They have a civilian course for it too, which is the same thing, MRT. But they was like, you know, your character is just your values at work. And like my top 3 character strengths was spirituality, faith, it was gratitude, and I think curiosity of the world. Like we put like the 8. I don't have the papers in the car, but those are like my top 3. And it's just like your characters is basically your values in the world. And the way values was broken down to us was how the world should be. So if I be like, you know, people should say thank you or somebody do something nice for them. That's not the way that the world is, but that's the way that I feel like the world should be. And then it was like a belief is more something where it's absolute. Like I say, it's a lot of people in the armies that are buttholes. Like that is my belief. You can't get me to change it. We have great people in the army, but I feel like the majority of them can be buttholes sometimes. That's my belief. There's no changing it. So with values, I feel like a lot of people, how can I say it? Like, I don't want to say a lot of people lack character, but I feel like character is something just like confidence. It could be developed. And a lot of people, character is more wrapped up in their emotions instead of something that is like a value. Because it's supposed to be like, what did it say? Like, what's the characteristics? We got 12, what is it, for the Army? It's like leadership, duty, discipline, and just like the character. No, that's the values. The Army values. So we got these values that are already like stitched out. But if it's not in your character to have personal courage, or it's not in your character to have duty or have honor or selfless service, I feel like it's hard to get people to, like, I don't know how to say it, like it's hard to get people on board. Like we could tell you like this is the Army values, and once you become a soldier, like this is the values that you're supposed to have. But I feel like if it's not in your character to have it, then it's kind of, I don't know, man.
I don't know, because it kind of makes me think about basic training.
Yeah.
Right? So like, you get all these random ass people from wherever, all parts of the world, and then they come, they meet their drill sergeant for the first time, and now it's upon this drill sergeant to make this person a soldier. Like,
instill it into them.
Yeah. Like you just a complete like random person
Joe off the street. Your daddy, mama done taught you this, and then it's like these is what you supposed to embody.
Yeah. Facts.
Oh,
so
no.
it's a lot to learn. It's a lot to develop. Even if you are a civilian and you try to pursue your dreams, your career, your goals, like your purpose in life, as whatever it is, like whatever you think that is, then you have to understand what that means to you. So.
Yeah, I totally agree, and like I say, it's a part, and I say like self-confidence. If you don't, and that's what I was getting. What I'm trying to say, like, people have a lot of confidence in the Army because they have these values, and like she said, when you go to basic training, your drill sergeant is like the person that you look up to. You have something that you want to be, so you put your confidence into this organization, but it has to be within. It has to be within too, because I feel like if you put all this into this organization, like the Army is the Army and it's built up by people. Eventually it's going to let you down. Not saying that it always, and in life is goals and ups and downs, but you have to take on those values. Like you have to have values and core beliefs for yourself in order to build your self-confidence. If not, you're just going to have confidence in somebody else's ability to do something. Like, how you feel? Like, okay, so how I say about my last episode, like, people on big on, like, what you want to do in the Army? And I'm like, sometimes I want to be a civilian. Like, y'all started asking me what I want to do, and I'm tired of hearing that I'm great for the Army. I feel like I'll be good anywhere you put me. Like, the CIA offered me a job. Like, I feel like I would go drop a packet for the FBI to pull it. I can be great. If I go say, forget it, and I'm just go do whatever and full throttle into my podcast or trying to launch a TV show, like whatever I do, I have the ability, the self-confidence, whatever, but the belief in my abilities to be successful in whatever I do. Like, I don't believe to just throw all this time into the service and like I say, you're gonna cap what I get paid, or I have control but I don't. Like, that kind of makes sense?
It do, because it kind of made me think about like the whole retirement of the military, right? So like you gotta do at least 20 years to retire.
40%.
40%.
You get 40%. I'm not laughing for a bad thing. I'm not laughing.
At least 20 years. You gotta devote 20 years of your life. But if you think about it, most people join at 18.
I joined at 18.
I joined when I was 23.
3 weeks out of high school. My mom was sending me out to the
Army. I have to think of it like, dang, okay, I joined at 23. I'm gonna be at least 43 when I get out. Like,
yeah.
What if I don't want to give 20 years of my life? What if I want to do 8, 10, 12 years and I have a degree in X, Y, Z and I want to pursue that degree?
Yeah.
So I should be able to do that. I shouldn't have to well, I joined the military and they said, you know, Uncle Sam, whoever said I got to do 20 years in order to get a specific amount of my earnings of what I make. That shouldn't be the case. That shouldn't be the...
I feel like where I'm at in life, like, it's not fulfilling. Like I say, like, you put in so much confidence in the Army. Right now, it say 20. Just like the new thing changed for our promotion. Like I said, I know everybody is not in the service. So the E6 is just another rank. It's a staff sergeant in the service. And they changed it where for E6s now, you have to sit at E6 a minimum of 4 years before you get looked at. And I think for these service, that is great because a lot of people get promoted into E7s and make it to E8s, even E6, and they're not qualified to lead people. You're just in charge. And I feel like the Army, like I say, it's people and it's hard running people. But it's like the Army has a great thing of calling somebody a leader, but like you a supervisor. And when you can't lead and kind of make somebody follow you, then you have to be the enforcer. Like, you have to be in charge. Like, you have to do this because I say so. Like, I don't respect you. I just know, like, I have to do it. And I'm just saying all that to say that I feel like sometimes, and I talked about it, we were in the field with my, y'all know I just graduated ALC, but advanced leader course, like I say, for my people that are civilians. We were in the field, and I was just kind of telling them the same thing. Like, I feel like so many people put their confidence in the Army, and it's forever changing. Like I said on my last podcast, like, you can't tell me literally in the Army, and I had seen the post on Instagram a day after I shot my podcast, and it said some people live like life, like imagine playing Monopoly. You don't buy any properties, you don't invest, and you just keep running around the board collecting your $200. And that's exactly how some people live life, and that's exactly what the Army is. Don't get me wrong, like, you get your 40% of your pension if you retire at 20 years. And I don't see a lot of enlisted people go past 20 years. I see a lot of officers do it, but not enlisted. So you collect your 40% and whatever they give you for your medical check, but you see people who put, even rappers, basketball players, you could put 7 years into something, 8 years, 20 years into something, and be light years away. Like, you have a lot of motion in the Army. You could do a lot of stuff in the Army, but it all builds to, okay, you just rank, and we paid you for that. There's one check, and like literally what we do, the discipline that we have, which like I said, we're going to get into self-discipline, but the confidence in our ability, just our confidence, our presence, period, because they embedded into our head. We can go out into the real world or the civilian world and dominate just off of what we are, because we are such confident people. We are so for sure our abilities. But if you put it in the Army, it's just like a bunch of crowds in the bucket because everybody's doing the same thing or being taught to do the same thing.
Yeah. Like, yeah, I definitely agree. We all competing. It comes to like how much can we juggle? How much responsibility how much can I take on versus you? Like,
yeah,
how much extra duty can I do compared to like we got the same job, but we got to do the same. We getting evaluated against the same rater or whatnot. So now it's like they are looking at, oh, well, you did X, Y, and Z, she did X, Y, and Z. So it boils down to how much more responsibility can I take on? How much more?
Or that you willing to take on too. Because that, like I say, that's exactly where I'm at with the service, where it's just like, I'm not going to work harder for you than I'm going to do for myself. Yeah. That's just where I'm at. Because you people that kill themselves for the Army, you're going to get paid the same check I did. And I did the same thing you was doing 2 years ago. I was the same way. And guess what? Like a new raider, like I said on my podcast at the time, Army got supervisor on supervisor. But just like our old E6, E7 was looking for this. The new E6, E7 was looking for that. What the fuck I look like steady perform? Like, is you crazy? Like, I don't even, like, is you crazy? That's really what I be feeling. Like, I'm at the point now where, like, you disrespect what I got going on, you might as well spit in my face. Like, what you do? I'm not finna, is you crazy? I could be doing my podcast. I could be bettering myself. Like, you need to go to school, you need to do this, you need to do this, that, and the third, get to the next rank, and then do this for the next rank. And then the moment that you retire, you are a civilian. Like I said, shout out, happy Veterans Day. But people in the service, you could walk up to somebody, you done gave 35 years to the Army, and you retire, and you like, I used to be a retired sergeant major. I don't give a damn, sir. Not saying we're like that, but I'm saying most people are like that. You can't get on the base saying, I'm a retired sergeant major. They could be like, where is your card at? You can't get like that. That was yesterday. What you got going on today? And all I'm saying is I feel like why I say people put so much confidence in the Army, it's people out here that built their legacy. Like I say, like Mo3, Tupac. I use rappers a lot, but you got the Oprah Winfrey's, you got the Tyler Perry's, whose life started, and they gave their life to something, and you look back and they left a legacy. Regardless of what people say, I'm a sergeant. I've been in 7 years. She's a staff sergeant. She been there 9 years. We walk outside, we see a civilian or see a kid, they just go say Army. They gonna say that's a soldier. You in the Army. That's why I say like I got the confidence and the ability to be like I wanna leave my mark and something on the world that's bigger than just being in the Army. Like the Army is something that I did. I'm proud of. I came out of it. I did ROTC for 4 years and I excelled in ROTC, and then I came into the Army and excelled. So I'm not saying no means like I'm grateful for it, but I just learned that don't put so much confidence in the Army. Like you are not. The Army is great because you're in it. The Army is great, but and I try to tell people the same thing. Like, I'm not saying the Army is bad at all, but I just want you to remember, because people will be like, I didn't have nothing when I came into the Army, and I met this guy in school. He was like, you know, me and my mom then was sleeping in cars, and I came into the Army, now I have all of this. But you came into the Army. The Army came looking for you. It's plenty of people the Army come looking for. If we didn't need it, just like they say car commercials, Honda, you got Toyota, Mercedes, Audis, these people do commercials. The higher luxury cars, they not doing commercials because the people is looking for them. They is not looking for people. They know if you coming to buy these cars, Ferraris, different, you don't see no commercial for no cars like that, because them people are not looking for you. And that's the same thing. Like the Army is coming from you because they need you. And sometimes I feel like people lose themselves in the Army and you forget to be. Like they always teach us, like the right side of your name is way more important than the left side. Because the left side of our uniform say U.S. Army, but the right side changes. It's Moore, it's Joseph, it's Thompson, it's Nondorf, it's all these people. That's who the Army hired you to be. So your self-confidence, I feel like, should be in your values and your beliefs. Like we are, like I said, we have the Army values and whatever values that you bring, because we from all walks of the world. So you should bring that into the Army, and I think it'll be such a better place. The world, period. You go to your job at Ross, we all got different religions, different backgrounds. Mom and daddy taught us different things. Take that to your job. Don't just be up there and like, oh, I'm another employee. You not. Because they wouldn't be putting a hire sign if they just needed Ross. They don't just need Ross. They don't just need Burlington or whatever job. Anybody that's hiring, they need you more than you need it. But people kind of forget that. I'm sorry about that, y'all. We in the house.
That's that cultural diversity too.
Yeah, exactly.
You gotta bring something to the table. You don't just want to be another number, another employee number on, because all they doing is writing checks. Mm-hmm. You got a number on that check. You got a check number. Mm-hmm. You're disposable to them, regardless if it's military or civilian job.
Exactly.
So you have to be valuable. You have to be confident, and you have to have self-discipline.
Exactly. Yeah. Now, self-discipline is a big thing. We'll get it. Matter of fact, we'll get him at Siri acting right. I already got the other one pulled up.
I doubt it.
Cause Siri acting crazy. She got a dude Siri. I told her that's why.
Hey Siri.
Dudes don't like you telling them what to do.
What does self-discipline mean?
It means the ability to control one's feelings and overcome one's weaknesses. The ability to pursue what one thinks is right despite temptations to abandon it.
I like that. And then the definition I got from Google, self-discipline is the ability to control yourself and to make yourself work hard or behave in a particular way without needing anyone else to tell you what to do.
Oh no.
You done? Like, dang. Dry, you want to be in the podcast so bad.
I think I like Bixby better than Siri.
He like...
Oh no.
Oh, let me say, the ability to control yourself and to make yourself work harder and behave in a particular way without needing anyone else to tell you what to do. What was yours again? It's gone. Siri got it. Out of time, tell you, dudes do not like you telling them what to do. She need a lady Siri. No, I'm playing. Women don't need them. It's all jokes, people. It's all jokes. But no, I'm a big person on self-discipline. I'm a huge person. And like I say, throughout the Bible, I just feel like it's echoed throughout the Bible. It's a lot of stuff echoed throughout the Bible. Like I said, I done read it so many times, but I just feel like self-discipline, like people talk about Jesus all the time, and I always feel like they make him like this timid dude. And I just feel like Jesus wasn't a timid man. Just because you're not quick to violence and quick to anger doesn't mean that you can't be assertive. So people be making Jesus like this fragile man. I'm like, I don't think a fragile man died for all of humanity. And knowing that, like, my opinion, a timid and fragile male not gonna tell their best friend, you gonna deny me 3 times before the rooster crow. Like, I just don't feel like that. Or a timid and shy man not gonna tell the guy, like, you know what you finna go do, go ahead and go do it. No, timid and shy people don't be talking like that. They be like, oh, you aggressive. Like, I don't feel like Jesus was like that. And I just feel like, regardless of what they say, he was the perfect man, he didn't commit no sins. That's discipline. And we not perfect. That's the reason that he had to die. Because God already knew they down there wilding, and you gonna die, and they gonna be down there wilding again. So hey, shout out to Jesus. But all I'm saying is, like, I feel like self-discipline is such a big thing. And I've been reading the Bible since I was a child. And I always tell people, like, I went through the same phase. Like, I had situations that happened to me when I was younger. And I feel like if Jesus is real, like, these situations wouldn't happen. And I feel like, my religion is my religion. Well, I believe in what I say I'm a Christ follower. And I believe in what I believe in because it wasn't because somebody forced it on me. Because I was the same child in church, falling asleep, getting pinched. Like, why you up? This man say the same thing every Sunday. It's not resonating. I want to go to sleep. Then he dunking me in the water and stuff. I don't want to be here. But I feel like 14, 15, like, I started going to iBox, started getting a Pastor Rush. He broke it down a little bit better. And it just caught. Like, I feel like you believe in what you believe in. And I've never been a type of person. I feel like God manifests himself in ways for people to see it. And it's not manifested the same to everybody. So I would never tell somebody, like, you going to hell because you don't believe in what I believe in. Because that is not my decision or my choice, or even in my realm to think about or make. But like I say, self-discipline is a big thing for, like, people. And I always tell people, like, it's not, I guess it's kind of like the butthole in me. Because I be telling, like, if you really think you making me do what I'm doing, then I stop and you tell me how I'm supposed to start back. And even at my job now, like, I don't do it on purpose, but it's the same thing where I feel like, you felt like you making me do it, or you think I care about what you're saying, make me start back doing what I'm doing, or make me do what I was doing before. Like, no, it's self-discipline. Like, I sit here and do nothing, and there's nothing you can say. It's not you can do it. I don't give a care about none of that. But how you feel about self-discipline?
I mean, self-discipline is definitely a personal. Well, what they used to say in basic, the intestinal fortitude.
Intestinal fortitude.
Like,
it behooves you. You to
like,
have some intestinal fortitude.
Like, you really, like...
What does behoove mean, drill sergeant? Don't be asking me questions.
You gotta want it for yourself.
You do.
At the end of the day. Like, it don't matter what mom, dad, it don't matter, like, what your NCOYC, it don't matter what your
significant other,
your significant other, partner, your spouse. It don't matter what anybody else wants for you. You have to want it for yourself, and you have to get it. You have to have that drive, that hunger, and just go for it. Like, that's my whole thing about self-discipline. Like, don't just do something because somebody told you.
It, man.
Don't just do something because somebody told you. Oh, I think you'd be good at that. Oh, I think you fit in right here. I think you should do this. Like, what do you want to do? That's where self-discipline comes in. Like, what do you want to do? And
you don't need nobody to them. I'll be listening to these motivational speeches now. And like I tell people, I'm not a motivation speaker. I'm a mindset speaker. Because motivation is topped up into emotions. And emotions are temporary. A mindset, the definition for mindset is the attitude on how you go about your life and perceive the world. That is there. Like, how people got attitudes, they could be, that is how you are. People are like, oh, that's just how they act. That is the mindset. Motivation, you could be motivated for a couple of days to do something, and eventually it may wear off. So like I tell people, I'm not a big fan of motivation, but I listen to these motivational speakers because I love their mindset. I'm not going. I already feel like that, so I'm going to you because you're giving me something that I need. And with that being said, I was listening to, I think it was, I don't want to quote it wrong, so I'm not going to say it. But I was listening to one of these motivational speakers, and he was saying that procrastination is not real. For you say you can't have discipline and self-discipline and think that procrastination is real. So he was like, if I tell you I'm going to give you $5 million, I need you to be here at 3 o'clock in the morning. What time you going to show up? The lady said, I'll be there at 2:59, 2:58. So he say, he say, like, you don't lack self-discipline and you don't have procrastination. It's just not a big enough thing for you. It's not, you don't want it bad enough. It's nothing that you want. And I thought about it and I was just like, man, that's crazy. And he was like, procrastination is not real because people, he said, if you gonna let somebody tell you what to do over what you telling yourself to do, it's already a problem. But it's not no such thing as procrastinating. You don't want it bad enough for yourself. And I feel like that's exactly what self-discipline is. Like, I've been working out. My last relationship, if y'all didn't listen to, what's the name of that episode? Dang on. What's it? Same old story, different name. My granny gave me that title, but it's true. But that relationship was a hard time. I'm telling you. Hey. Hey, that relationship was something different, right? All I'm saying is I got up to almost 200 pounds in that relationship. I'm down to 165. But I had a discipline to know that regardless of what I do, like I say, you see me drink, I'm going to get up and take my butt to the gym. I'm going to be conscious of what I eat. I'm going to be conscious of what time that I eat. And it's all because I want it. Just like when I was gaining that weight, I want to feel, the life is not making me feel peachy cream at the moment. So I can control what goes into my mouth. And I'm going to eat what I want to when I want to. And I'm just saying, like, self-discipline, that's exactly what it is. Like,
discipline.
Self-discipline. But when I tell you I've been like that, I said it on a couple episodes. Like, I was a child, and I'm telling you, I was a teenager, and I got my first job. And like I say, I have been reading the Bible and into the Bible for a long time. Not what my grandparents told me to do, not what my mother told me to do. I done read the Bible more times than I feel like my parents and me and my granny probably done read the Bible about the same. Like, I'm in there. Like, it's really something I believe. It's embedded into my DNA and my fiber of how I'm as a person. But I remember getting my first job, and I was so big on tithing. Like, tithing was broken down to me like, God blessed you to have a job. This is his money. And it's just 10%. And as a child, I'm making like $10. I'm making like $200 a check. God, you just want $20? You mean I get to have $180 and you just want 20? I'd be like, how people don't tithe? Like, this ain't nothing. This is nothing. So my daddy come into my room one day and he see this big wad of money. He like, what you doing? And don't get me wrong, like, he never said nothing out loud, nothing crazy. But in the hood, you either selling this or selling that. If you got a big swat of money, I wasn't doing none of that. This is my work check. Like, I ain't slanging, I ain't doing none of that. This is work money. So, like, my daddy was like, why you got that big wad of money? We hadn't been going to church. So, like, usually my granny will come pick us up on the weekends. We'll go to church, and I'll be able to get my tithes. So, my daddy was like, why you got that big wad of money? And I was like, this my tithes. Like, this God money. And my daddy was like, you the reason. Like I said in another episode, he was like, you are the reason that I started tithing. He was like, if a child could save up, and I think I had like over 500 something dollars, because we wasn't going to church. So, if my granny didn't come get us, my parents never wasn't driving to church like that. Like, my daddy had to work, mom had to work. So we in the house. But I just knew, like, not to touch God money. Like, this, I'm saying thank you to you. And like I said, I'm saying all that to say, like, self-discipline, I feel like it's a big part of who I am and how I am. And like I said, I feel like self-confidence and self-discipline ties into the same thing. Because just like if you see somebody, like I said, you don't compare yourself to people, but if you see somebody performing at the level that you want to perform, I don't never tell myself like I can't get there. I be like, okay, I need to do what I need to do to get there. Just like I watch people do their podcast. If they consistently drop a podcast every Monday, and I think I'm gonna get to where they at dropping the podcast every other week, when I already said when I started I want to drop a podcast every Wednesday and every Friday, guess what I need to do? Get more consistent with dropping my podcast. And like I said, it's not. I know, like, I had a discipline to do it. I know I got the self-confidence to be out there and able to get it. I don't worry about the views, and I don't worry about the downloads or nothing like that. I just know, like, I believe in my abilities to get what I need done, and I believe in my ability to sit in front of this camera, put this word out, put this knowledge out to y'all, and like I I feel like people go eat it up. I feel like just like I felt with Mo 3, like I don't feel like my content is bad. I just feel like the world ain't heard me yet. So the moment that somebody hear me, it'll get bigger, it'll get better. But I'm gonna continue to get better and progress.
Yep.
Hey, bitch.
Each one teach one.
So what you got? How do you feel like self-discipline done helped you out in your life? Because coming into the military itself takes, and staying in the military, like most people don't make it to sergeants. Down, you staff sergeant. Like a lot of people, people retire staff. I might, like I say, staff sergeant.
Retire.
No, you can retire. You can retire staff sergeant. It's been like that a couple years. No medical. Just you can retire.
I don't know. That to me though, like if you retire 20 years and you only retired as a staff sergeant, I don't know. That might be a whole different podcast to talk about that.
I feel it. I said it. I just told y'all on my last podcast. My thing is to retire. How you get there is how you get there. Because at the end of the day, like I said, I watched my granny give 40 years to somebody, and her pension went way low. Mm-hmm. And you see like a job. I feel like it's the same way. You retire at a different rank, you get a higher 40%. Yeah. But at the end of the day, get your retirement, because a lot of people ain't getting retirement. Some people is not getting pension, you know.
Yeah.
So, but go ahead. That'll be another podcast.
But I don't know. Self-discipline to me is what helped me, or how I experienced self-discipline with aspects of the military. It was to be able to see past what I want for myself and how I can benefit the organization as a whole. Yeah. So even though I might have started out as an MP, that didn't work out. God had other plans for me. Now what can I do next? Like, how can I benefit? What craft do I have? What talent do I have to give to the organization and help benefit the overall military, the Army? So, I mean, I didn't expect to be cooking, but look at us now. Like, nobody joined the military
thinking I'm finna be cooking for the people love to see.
And now, you know what I'm saying,
Secretary of the Army and the Chief of Staff for the Army. Yeah.
Like, I done been to Japan, Indonesia. I don't even want to talk
about
let me clap.
Oh, you check. I've been doing the job longer. Hold on, let me clap. There's a bit.
Like, she's
hold on. All right, go ahead.
She's actually been my sponsor, right? And getting me situated and coming into the program. But that was a few years ago, because now we both coming up on like 3 years. It's a 4-year program.
Yeah, I'm leaving. I'm leaving in a few months.
We both about to be gone. But self-discipline to me is all about what can you do. What can I get out of the military, and what can I give to them? Yeah. Right. So it's not just I see the military as a clutch that they can do this for me, they can do that, but you also want to better the organization itself.
Exactly.
So all them NCOERs, all them counselings,
I don't give a damn about none of that. I don't give a shit about all of that.
It matters to an extent.
Who did I affect? Who would see me on the street and be like, "So more"?
But see, in the civilian world too, you get evaluated. At
that's
one of the day, you want to get a raise. You want to.
No, I'm with it. I'm not knocking that. This is what I tell people, and it's the same thing when people be like NCOERs and I feel like at a certain point, like how do your degree that you have, how do you incorporate it into the organization? Like, that's how I feel about, like, you could get ahead in the Army now is built on, you could not be the best leader or the best. So this is exactly what I be saying when I say, like, I always had this Drake lyric floating in my head. Like, the minute I stop having fun with it, I'm done with it. And it's not just, like, in the normal sense of, like, fun, like, entertaining, but it's the moment of, like, the moment I stop being able to, like, reach people and soldiers, like, up and down. Like, the moment people start coming to me, like, even, like I say, I'm an E5. Like, people want me to get promoted to E6 better than I want to get promoted. Like, people sitting up here, like, in meetings. Like, I shout out to Son Kabru. Like, she been gone. We kind of bumped heads a few times, but, good people. And it was like, I remember her saying we had like a class. I forgot what the class was for, and she was like, we have this amazing E5, and nobody's like not like saying that she's not an E6. Like nobody is saying like, why is this person not an E6? And she's not the only one. Like most people I work with, I don't have phone conversation or text messages with like, congratulations on getting your ALC date, finally going to school. Like it's so long overdue. And I'm just like, that's the impact that I'm talking about. Because your NCOER is good for you, but what impact do you have? Just like I say, like we have great people that we work with, and I feel like they are awesome at being in charge, but you're not a leader. Like I have soldiers that still hit me up to this day, like, I want you to meet my mom. And I'm not saying everything has to go to that extent, but I got, mentors that'll be like, what do you need? Like, what do you need from me? Just like when I got here, like my E7 and my E8 did most of my packing. I'm like, I don't need to go there. I'm not trying to go there. They're like, look, we'll do it. We'll get this filled in, but you need to fill out your character strengths and this, that, and the third. So that's what I mean by I'm with it. Your NCOER is a report card of what you did throughout the year. But just like I went to ARC, shout out to Soren Green, one of the best NCOs that I done came across in the Army. I haven't worked with her in operational Army, but what she showed me as an instructor, she's one of the best NCOs I've seen in the Army. She's one of the NCOs that have an impression or impact on my mind. And it's one of the things she said, like, if you don't like the Army, you won't be effective for the Army. But she left. It was conversations that I had with other people in the class, like, I want her to be my mentor. So she's actually, her NCOER is great. But she said, like, you could do all this stuff, but what has the most, quantum, like, I'm going to pronounce it wrong. Like quantify whatever. Like what made the greatest impact, basically. She like, you could do all this stuff, but what made the biggest impact? Put that on your NCOER. So that's why I be saying, like, some people that work for the NCOER, I volunteer here, I did this and that, but you did it to get a volunteer medal. Like, once you get your volunteer medal, like, how often do you volunteer? How often do you go? Like, is you going to continue to be just like you said. And we didn't talk about this before, so it's cool that she said that, but most people that are great in the Army, they see it like, I'm trying to benefit the organization. So go ahead, what you think? Go ahead. That's all I meant. That's all I was saying. Get a great NCOER. It's wonderful, but I'm just saying it's bigger than that.
It is. Shit, I don't even know what I was saying. I mean, it is. It applies to both military and civilian workforce.
Yeah.
So self-discipline is about what you want for you at the end of the day. Like, before you leave this earth, like, what impact do you want to have, like, for your children, for your family, for the industry that you worked in, the passion that you have for yourself? Like, what did you contribute? What did you leave behind? What did you leave behind? And what did you give? What legacy did you have?
Yeah.
Like, everybody can be Condoleezza Rice. Everybody can be like a great politician or and
you can in your own hood. You can be the best. You can be the best politician on the Southside. Don't ever let nobody. You can. A lot of people don't have the self-confidence and self-discipline to get up there where them people did.
You right.
Because you can. You could be whatever somebody else was.
It's at your own level.
It is, exactly. Yeah.
So, I mean, that's all what self-discipline means to you. Like, what are you doing to benefit? What are you doing to contribute to the chaos? Like, we all see what's going on. Black Lives Matter. We all see what's going on in the world. Like, what are you doing? What peace, what have you brought to the situation to make it better? Mm-hmm. Are you in marches? Are you in movements? Are you doing anything? Like, even if you don't work, what are you doing for yourself to build yourself up? Like, I have a lot of people in my life that might not know their next step, what they're going to do tomorrow, how they're going to survive. With the whole pandemic, people were debating on freaking mortgage, rent, over food. The next day, they got babies, they got kids, they don't know what to prioritize. So it's all about,
and that's perfect with self-discipline too. Like JoJo said, not to cut you off, but I don't want that point to get overshadowed. Pandemics and stuff is going to come. Self-discipline teaches you to put some money up, put something up, and it's like everybody can't do that, and I understand, but Just like I said on the last podcast, millionaires live on 20% of their income. You might need to stay in a 1-bedroom apartment with all your kids. If you able to, I'm being so serious. We don't look at it like that because we want our life to be so comfortable. Just like we sit up here and we can eat 3 meals a day, but you walking 600 steps a day. Like you don't need all that food. Your body not hungry. Your mind telling you to eat. And I'm just like, I don't want that point to get overshadowed. What she said was brilliant because it's like pandemics is come and you have to put some money up. She said a statement in the HSN today, like it was like, did we get paid already? And she like, me and Moy ain't worried about getting paid. Like, we ain't thinking about that. And I'm like, not because we got it, but you put up, you budget. So regardless of what's coming out of my check, I got some money put up. I got some money put up in savings. I got money put up in this place and that place. So I'm not worried about the check coming in. So if you're looking to when you get, and don't get me wrong, like I was like that. Everybody come from, like I said, you learn it. Some of this stuff is not taught. You taught through your lessons. Not talking about, I was poor and I was living paycheck to paycheck. Okay, what lessons did you get from it? So that was a great point. Like pandemics is gonna come. Inflation right now is 6.2%. That stuff is normal. Put some money up because right now $10 is $10 and 60 years ago $10 was closer to $100. $10 is closer to $1 now. So that was a great point. Like, that's self-discipline. Like, I know you want your kids to be comfortable. I know you want to be comfortable. You want your significant other to be comfortable. But you have to understand that stuff go happen. Just like I always say, I always live out the same bills that I had as a specialist. Private is the same bills that I have now. And the only reason that I have a house and everything like that, they gave me the money for it and I have to have it. They told me I could live in the barracks. I'll take my butt in the barracks. You know what I'm saying? Like,
life was easy in the barracks.
I'm saying, like, I always made my car affordable. And my brother, like I said, my brother tell me, like, I want you to live your life. You always played it safe. And it's true. Like, sometimes I do want another car. I do want something else. But I always tell myself, like, if I can I done heard people say, like, if I get out the Army, the Army's going to take that car. Basically saying, like, that car go with it because they can't afford it outside of the service. My car note is $260. I could, if I gotta work 16 jobs, I know I could get up to $260 and be able to pay rent and stuff too. So I think about stuff like that. Like, a lot of people think, people who have stuff just like me, like, oh, you ain't got no kids, you got this and that, I'm gonna ask her for money. You don't think I got discipline? Like, you don't think I want to go splurge? You don't think I want to go rock this shoe or that shoe? But I just think about, if I put some money out, I gotta put some money in. Just like I always tell people, just like the guy with the procrastination thing said, it's not that you got procrastination that it don't mean enough to you. If a bank tell you that you got to pay some money by this, you gonna rob Peter, Paul, Sally Mae to get that thing paid. So you got to think about yourself the same way. Like, if you willing to give $20 to your homeboy, give your last to your homeboy, okay, you thinking about, you know what? Tell him no and go put them and go save that money. I'm not telling you put it in the bank, just shoebox it. Just put you some money up. But go ahead, JoJo.
I mean, that's a lot though. That's everything, like, in a nutshell. So you have unforeseen circumstances, right? So you want to make sure your self-discipline is gonna secure you and your family at the end of the day. Even if you're single, you don't have kids, you don't have a spouse. You want to make sure your siblings.
I think, everything.
Hopefully you got siblings, parents, whatever, somebody else.
Even if you don't, lean on yourself.
Lean on yourself.
Lean on yourself.
It's a beautiful thing to know that you have a cushion.
Exactly.
At the end of the day. You're not living paycheck to paycheck.
I'm telling you.
You're secure in life. Like, don't worry about what's on the other side. The green, it's green on the other side. This person got that. Don't keep up with the Joneses. Like, none of that stuff matters. Your self-discipline just needs to define who you are as a person and what you care about, how you're going to foresee yourself. At the end of the day, when everything is said and done, like, what did you contribute? What did you leave behind? What
exactly.
How are people going to remember you? That's to me, that's what's going to have an impact.
That's an outlasting impact. That's an outlasting impact.
Exactly. What do you leave behind? How do you define yourself at the end of the day?
Exactly. And I'm not gonna lie, like, even when I tell people now, like, I'm thinking about getting out, or, like, going reserve, going active reserve, people be like, I never thought I seen a day because you was just so whole Army. And I don't think I'm not whole Army still. It's just the fact of when I seen, so doing the job that we do, it's a lot of stuff that we see, right? And when I seen, like, those 13 people lost their lives when we pulled out of Afghanistan. It was like 4 of those, or 6 of those 13 that died, they were 20 years old. We was in Afghanistan fighting for 20 years. No matter how many memorials we do for them, no matter how comforting of their family, like, the army still went on. We mourned. Like, you know, I was on the jet tearing up that day. Like, it was a hard and heart-wrenching thing to see. But I'm just like, this war went on for 20 years. So these kids wasn't born or was one when the war happened. And the day that they pulled out, they lost their lives. And it's just, like I say, it's all about, is that worth it for you? I want another legacy. Even if I go, I never say that I'm getting out. I say I'm thinking about getting out because at the end of the day, like, I do love the Army. And it's not because the organization itself, it is the people. It's the people that haven't came through yet. Shout out to Rogers. Chris, he was on my last episode. And he was just saying, like, I think about staying in and, like, being effective in the Army, because I always think about that one soldier that I haven't ran across, but it has to be me to meet him. You know, like, if I'm not there, it's not go. They life might go somewhere else. And I'm paraphrasing, what he said, but that was like the gist of what he was talking about. And I feel the same way. Like, well, like I said, I never thought about putting locks in my hair. I said it on another episode, but. Excuse me, I never thought about putting locks in my hair, but for the Army to be like, we can have locks, and it was a big thing, I'm like, that's a part of history. So when somebody see me in uniform, I want them to see my locks. Any earrings, anything that comes where it's like it's a part of history, is bigger than myself, because I don't care about having locks. I do the short hair, I do some weave, but I'm like, locks is a part of history. It's bigger than myself. And there's small stuff like that where, I'm like, just like JoJo say, it's the same thing in the civilian world. Like, this is something I do as a civilian. I'm a soldier 24/7, but the Army's not paying me to do this. The Army's not forcing me to do this. And I'm not just putting countless hours into the Army and not fueling myself. And I always feel like, you know, sometimes at the end of some people's career, you could say, like, I always think about it like this. If I was just given 20 years or something, then maybe it's not for me. Because I don't want to just get 20 years. Like, why won't keep going? So people can be like, the Army was great, and thank you for every time that it gave me, but you getting out at 20 years. But like I say, my grandmother worked till she was 50, 60, and she knew what it was on the other end of retirement. But you got people who still trying to rap, or got restaurants that, these people 60, 70 years old, and this restaurant been in their family. So I'm like, if this something that means so much to you, why only give it 20 years? Don't get me wrong, like I say, officers and some people give it 22 and this and that, but the Army is going to eventually cap off. If new people come in, like I say, she brought up the evaluation, that's what the NCOAR is. This person might be looking for this person might be looking for that. In 15 years, the Army might not be, I'm going to be old and crusty to the Army. So the Army still going to be looking for the newer bodies, the newer people to come in. So that's why I say, like, I feel like the same way, self-discipline, self-confidence, it's the same thing. Like, you have to be able to do something for yourself, because the Army is going to tell you what to do because they do pay you. I want you to do this job. I need you to do this, and whatever other people sprinkle in there because they feel like they can. You have to leave something and figure out something that you want to do on yourself. Like, nobody has to make me shoot a podcast. I love doing this. I love, like I say, I love getting those inboxes on Snapchat, like, what made you do a podcast? Or I heard that you say you was from Dallas. Like, I got a podcast in Dallas. Or, you know, like say, look things on Instagram. Like, dang, Mo, you got a podcast? Like, I didn't even know. So it's stuff like that. Like, what is your impact that you have on people? Like, yeah, that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, and about my when you talked about introducing myself, I didn't really talk about JoJo Cuisine. But one of my Instagram pages, my culinary pages, JoJo_cuisine with a K. And a lot of friends and family have been asking me, like, oh, when you going to start your food truck and this and that. And, like, kind of like what you said, piggyback off what you said, I like to cook, right? I don't care to make it a job. Like, a lot of people you will find that is cooking on social media or what have you. Like, they say find find something that you're in love with, that you're in tune with.
The moment
so
I
that
stop
it's
having
not
fun
a
with it,
job.
I'm done with it.
Exactly.
Don't make it a job,
so
baby.
for me, it's
Don't
like
make it
I
a
do
job.
love cooking, but if I make it something where
that's
what I have to do, I have to cook. Like it's not the same for everybody. Like a lot of people have their food trucks. A lot of people have their catering business. A lot of people taking orders online off of social media, Instagram, TikTok, whatever. DM me.
But they do it on their own way too. I look at the same thing. Like I say, I get out, or even you could be in. That's why I'm not encouraging people to get out or quit. I do. If your job not benefiting you, I do encourage you to get out. The army ain't benefiting you, get the hell out. Like I do encourage that. But just like what you're saying, you don't necessarily have to get out, but you can build something greater than yourself. Like your legacy is not, because like I said, you don't want to just get slumped in as a soldier. Or just like, shout out to Son Cabruz, she reclassed. One of the people that evaluate us, she was like, I reclassed, and I'm in here with officers. I'm an NCO. Like I say, officers and NCOs are different. I know, like I say, everybody is not in the Army, but it's two different scales. And officers are above the enlisted, right? We two different spectrums. And the person told her, like, I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. What you mean?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, that's your opinion, that's your perception, but you're writing my evaluation. So that's why I say, like, and I was going to bring it up. I'm happy it came back. Thank you, Heavenly Father. But it came back. I love boxing. And, some boxers say it all the time, like, don't leave it in the judge's hand. And that's the same way I feel like you should do the Army, your life, your job. Don't leave it in the judge's hand, because regardless of, just like people like that I work with, my perception and how people perceive me might be something different. But then you wondering, like, why y'all steady picking more for this? Or why y'all want to talk to her? Like, how did she even get this job? Or people speak highly of me on my behalf when I'm not even around. So you might say something negative and somebody shut it down and you don't even, it's like, why? Because it's just like, I don't leave it up to the judges. I'm going to do my job regardless. Like, you might want me to go over and beyond because I made it comfortable for you, but now I'm going over and beyond for myself. And over and beyond is normal to me. Like, I'm going to do what I do. I'm going to make it better, but at the same time, just like I say, I'll set the cages up real pretty. If people not gonna keep the going, what the hell I look like to steady be up in here setting up these cages? I already made the system nice. You go off of the paper. If you come in work and you sleeping and you tired or you just not there, and you just like, I don't remember nothing, that you can open up them cages and you can read out that paper and the stuff falls in line just like that. But I don't gotta come in here and every time and do this and do that. Like I said, I could be at home doing my podcast or giving that time to my family, something that means something to me. So just like I said, I love boxing. Don't leave it in the judge's hands. Don't leave it in the bank's hands. You put you some money up. You put you some money in the bank. You put you some money. If you want to do credit cards, like I say, shout out to Son Green again. She talked about, in I think 2022, 2023, having full control over her finances, over her money, and paying everything on the credit card. That's the bank money. And what she said was true. My debit card been hacked 6 times. She was like, most debit cards get hacked more than credit cards. Your credit card get hacked, the bank gonna pay that money off. Like if something happened, the bank gonna pay it, and you have full control over your money and what you're doing. It's different attitude, different way to think about life, but I just thought that was so dope. But you don't leave it in the judge's hands. And I don't leave it in the judge's hand. Like I literally make impacts on people. I make it where people know me outside of just Sergeant Moore, but at the same time I am Sergeant Moore. The way that I talk to you at work, I had a conversation with people like, professionalism, you should be able to turn it on and off, and on one way of working. I believe that it should always be a type of professionalism, because I feel like it's a maturity that come with it. So I'm not just gonna act too crazy here, I'm not gonna act too crazy there, but I can still be myself. I don't have to be, you think professionalism is just suit and tie, buttoned up, just rock. No, I'm still professional. I don't have to cuss, I don't have to do this, I don't have to degrade you, I don't have to make dirty jokes. I can be professional, and I can do the same thing outside of work. So that's all it was saying. Like, don't leave it in the judge's hand, regardless of what you're doing. Anything in life, like it's your self-discipline, your self-confidence. It don't matter what nobody say about me. Half of the people that got kind words to say about me, I don't even like half of them. It's just facts. I don't like half of them. But I'm picky about who I choose to shoot my company with. But don't leave it in the judgment. Your character, your self-discipline, your work ethic. That's why I say patience, self-discipline, consistency, work ethic. Go be dedication, work ethic is a B for itself. Because self-discipline is not what my podcast description say. Because dedication to what you got going on, and self-discipline is a step to it. But I'm dedicated to it, so I'm going to be self-disciplined in doing it. So, yeah, that's all I say. Like, don't leave it in the judge's hand with your life, because just like people go evaluate you, like I said, one evaluator go be looking for this, and somebody else may be looking for a totally different thing. And what the hell do I look like? I don't... No. When I look in that mirror, all I see is me. I don't get down what you talking about. You gonna write down what I did. I'm gonna have enough self-fortitude, and it's gonna behoove me to tell you, like, I'm not signing that. I don't give a damn what you think. Just like some computer situation, I don't care what you thought wasn't no big deal. You go take that damn class for 3 months over the computer and see what score you make. You shut your ass up then. Like, put that shit on my evaluation. That's all I'm saying. Go ahead, JoJo. There you go.
Nah, I mean, that's really it. How you trying to wrap it up, boy?
We could wrap each other. I
don't know. I don't know what else to say. I mean,
you got something else you want to talk about? We could wrap.
Self-discipline, self-confidence.
Self-discipline, self-confidence. What you got? You got something else you want to talk about?
I don't know. Just believe in yourself.
Believe in yourself.
Self-confidence and self-discipline.
Love yourself. Inner peace, y'all.
It intertwines. Like, you can't have one without the other. They balance each other, confidence and discipline. So you got to have discipline in order to be self-confident. You have to be confident in order to fulfill the self-discipline. And that's regardless if you're civilian or military. So, I mean, really, I don't want to, keep repeating myself.
No, do it. That's what they do in rap songs. What they do in movies, they repeat the same. I was the same way. They repeat it, and they just repeat it in a different way. Like, y'all talk about the same. Facts. Raping, selling drugs. I had a rough upbringing. I'm gonna tell y'all the same thing. Just love yourself.
Artists and sample the song
from the old artists.
Said it the same way with
you talk about freaking somebody mama, taking somebody baby mama. Like, motivational speakers say the same thing. I'm gonna tell y'all the same thing in a different way, because I'm gonna reach one person this way. I might reach 2 people this way. I might reach 3 people this way. I might get 10 this way. So go ahead and repeat yourself, JoJo.
But no, that's really it. Like, you gotta have confidence and discipline. You have to believe in yourself. You have to face your fears and overcome, what is it, adversity?
Failure is only in your... Fear and failure is only in your head.
It's in your head. It's a mind thing.
It's a mind thing. That is it.
It could be as small as, like, the gym. Like, for me, I hate going to the gym, but once you get there,
I be in love with it.
You love it. You don't want to leave.
It's just like running. Like, I hate running.
Waking up in the morning. It's getting there. But once you're there,
you love it. Like, your mind just I know, and that's one thing that is true, because the gym is like your mind. Like, I know, I'm gonna hurt, I'm gonna be tired, but it's just you know what? Do I really want that? That's the self-discipline of choosing the long run over the comfortability of being in your bed. Because truthfully, I seen, like I say, I be sharing posts all the time on Instagram. Follow me, overthinking, understanding. So OTUS. I had to look at the shirt to make sure. I had to make sure that guy put him wrong. OTUS _ podcast on Instagram. But I share all types of things, and I shared it one of the memes was regret hurts way worse than failure. Because failure, you did something. Regret means I could have did something. Or no, regret, if you don't even do it. If you regret something, it's just not saying you regret, I regret sleeping with her. I regret doing this, taking this job. But I'm saying if you never do it and something happened, you I missed that opportunity. And that hurts way more than failure, because you don't know how you could have did or how you could excel at something. And like she say, self-confidence, a lot of people is not putting themselves out there. A lot of people are scared of failure, and it just make me laugh. I'm a lot of people not doing nothing. So even if you fail at doing something, other people on the couch. People look, like I say on Instagram, y'all could see how many people like it, how many people view it, but the insights, my last reel, it reached over 3,000 people. But y'all don't see that. I do. So when you think she just talking to herself, getting 11 views or a couple likes, you know how many people see my stuff? You might not see the like, but you know how many people are add. Just last week I added 4 people to my, and when you in the hundreds, that's a big thing. So That's what I say. Like, that's true. Like, that self-confidence is a monster. And like I said at the beginning of the show, I don't have self-confidence because how people think, like, oh, you just so for sure of yourself. I'm just more for sure of myself than your opinion of me. Like, I don't give a damn what you talking about. You could be this and that. Like, no. Like, you think I stay in the... You don't think I can be good outside of this? You might as well spit in my face where I'm at now. Like, I'm great anywhere. I done been good in this organization. I done been the top of this organization. Like, it gets boring. You like, this too easy. And I feel like you're not surrounded. It's different when you're surrounded by people doing the same thing. Just like I said, in relationships, you could get with somebody, you can get hooked up to somebody, and a bad person can drain a good person. But if a person got this negative and ugly mindset, you could be as nice and whatever. Sometimes it just don't rub on to them. There's nothing you can do because that's the mindset that they have. And sometimes in the army, like I said, you get these people who just like, they seem like they stellar, but you stellar in this organization. What happened if you had 10,000 people performing just the way that you do? And the army makes it seem like, oh, you performing better. No, some people are just tired, or they over it, or they just like, I look at it like this. Half of y'all don't know my mama name, my daddy name. Ain't nobody done sent no money to my little brother. Y'all know he got cancer. You just telling me perform the way that you used to. Nah, fuck you. Not in the most respectful way. Like, no, like you, I die tomorrow, you ain't gonna do. My brother die tomorrow. That's just like, I don't want to hear no, I'm sorry for your loss. Like, no. Y'all, when you wasn't sorry for my existence a bit, hey, so more you need anything? No, you say, oh, I know you got something going on. And that's one thing that always triggers me. Like, somebody dies and people just swarm on it. And I'm just like, and like I say, my opinion, I ain't even gonna put JoJo's situation out there, but situations happen and people lose their loved ones and stuff like that. And it's just like, I grew up with a parent who lost a parent. Where was you when they was going through it? You know, like, it's different when stuff happened, but I'm like, my brother went from stage 2 to stage 4 cancer, and you just want me to perform like the same more I was. Right. I'm not the same person that I was. You know, like, you telling me that you had people sick or you lost loved ones. Like, you not on the phone with my little brother getting up telling me, like, I just want to be dead. Like, I'm tired of this pain. But you telling me to come to work and perform the same. Yeah. Like, fuck you. That's the best way I could put it without trying to... I be trying to be so respectful at work because it's just like, I'm not going to trick myself. I'm a firm believer in self-discipline. People can't do nothing to you. You can only trick yourself out your own spot. So I'm not going to say screw you and I know you outrank me, but I'm going to show you, like, I'm going to do my job. So you could, you know, I might not do it the way, I'm going to do my job. I'm going to perform my duties that I'm supposed to do. But I know, like I say to you, I'm just a number. In the way that you want me to perform, you're not, like I say, you're not picking up my brother late night calls. You're not telling me, like, hey, chill out or do this. But if he die, the moment you say, you know, I'm sorry for your life, I might punch you in the face. So I just be trying to chill out on shit because I don't want to hear that. Like, what was this, all this when he was here or when I needed it? I don't need it now. Now he at peace. You know, what if I feel better after he passed? You know, like, yeah. That's how I be on it. Go ahead, though, JoJo.
It hit different, though.
It hit different, yeah.
Different. And that's a whole nother podcast.
Whole nother podcast.
We might need to touch on that.
Yeah, we do. We should. I definitely feel like that's what my podcast is about. I feel like the internet and the world is just saturated with what people think is good. And I feel like I'm a firm believer in the world is always changing. And I'm a dreamer and an inventor, right? So I feel like, you know, my podcast might not be what people want to hear now. But 2-3 years from now, They gonna need it. They gonna want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? So I never sit here and perform and be up here like ass and titties and this rapper was into. No, like this is the stuff we do. Yeah, this or you gotta talk to a rapper or a movie star. Like I said, it's some Tyler Perry's, it's some Oprah Winfrey's, it's some Floyd Mayweather's, right? Walking around your block. I'd rather talk to you at this level than that level.
Yeah, that too. That all goes with the trends. You know, like a lot of people just try to be on what's trending right now. But the reality is, like, your mental health. Mental health, man. And that always ties in with your self-confidence and self-discipline. Like, you still have to have the confidence to know where you at mentally. Yeah, exactly. It's okay to be. It's okay to be not okay. It's okay. It's okay when people make it like it's okay. Look me in my face. I love y'all. Yeah.
It's okay to be not okay. To the people that's listening to me, listen to the warmth of my voice.
100.
It's okay to not be okay. People make it like you have to be okay and you have to handle something the way that they did. It's okay. Jesus sat out there and cried on that cross. You know, like he was praying, and before he was getting ready to get executed, and Peter and them sleeping, he like, you can't stay here with me. Like, it's okay to. We are human. People try to make superhuman, and I said it on my last podcast. A lot of people just project, and they want to be okay with the decisions that they made, so they want you to be okay with the way you handle it. Like I say, I don't think my boss meant no type of way by telling me that her daddy died and she had people with cancers, but she telling me how I'm supposed to handle it in the same words, and I'm not going to handle it the way that you handle it. Because at the end of the day, like I told her, I'm looking you in the face. You make a little bit more money than me, you do the same job. I've been doing it long, I got more experience than you at the same time. Like you telling me enlisted A, like I know the lady who run it. One of the people that sit on the board, you know what I'm saying? Like I could go do just like they say with the virgin. To the lady that's not a virgin. I could be you whenever I choose to be, but you could never be me. So a virgin can go be unflowered, be a virgin whenever they feel like it. But a person that's a virgin, you can't never go up and take that back. So that's just how I feel about it. Like, no, like that's cool, but that's not. Right now I'm telling you, like, it's okay to not be okay. And I ain't gonna say I'm okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want your family to be healthy. I feel like success and people that are successful, they I feel like, what's the saying? Like, you go a little bit crazy. But it's not in a bad way, because people think you crazy. Mm-hmm. So people be like, that's crazy. Like, you such a good soldier. You trying to do this, that, and the third. That's crazy. That's crazy. You go a little bit crazy when you're trying to do something bigger than that.
Yeah. But with that, too, like, knowing that it's okay not to be okay. Like, you got to have the discipline to know when it's okay to step up for yourself, and you know, when do you put into action all that confidence and that courage,
your values
and the values.
Like,
it's a team effort in a way. Like it's self confidence, it relies on you. It's self discipline, it relies on you, but I mean, at the end of the day, you need a support system too. Yeah,
and that's true. That's true. And I'm big on that. I learned that. And like I say, shout out to Dale. She's not even big on podcasts. I don't even know how many episodes she done checked, even if she only done checked a couple. But it was that type of thing when I told her I start. My brother went, so Dale, I tagged her in my last live. She does Wind Down Wednesdays. And, like, my brother went on her podcast. I mean, she don't got a podcast. She has Wind Down Wednesdays where she showcases entrepreneurs, their business, whatever they got going on, podcast, this, that, and the third. She showcased people. And her thing was, like, people pay for promo. I want to make a show that gives promo without people paying me. I want to do it. And, like I said, she talked about, like, God and just, like, different ways of her mindset. And I thought to myself, and like, I was praying on it and whatnot, but I thought to myself, and I always think all the time, like, you sit there and you can think, like, it's some friends that have bought people cars. Just like me and JoJo, like, stuff going on, like, you're not paying for your meal. You're not paying for this. Like, if you need a hotel, you need some gas. Like, you're not paying for it, and I don't want it back. You got friends that'll do that, but you also got friends that'll take it and don't get the same thing back. And I'm teaching myself, and I'm learning, because it's hard for me. You build the circle that you want. Some people feel like like I say, does loyalty stunt your growth? Check out that episode with my best friend. But you build the circle that you want, because some people will get, so they let their loyalty tetherball them to a pole and stand still that's not good for them. And that's exactly what I'm on now, like building a team that's better for me. So just because you want to be hooked up to me, which a lot of people be like, you don't got this many friends, or you talk to these people, but like, I'm not friendly. Like, it's plenty of people that love to be in my space, but I'm not friendly. Like I know, like I say, it's self-confidence. People say it's cocky, but I'm not cocky. I'm a very humble person. But at the end of the day, I'm big. You think I'm humble? Like, people say that, like.
I think you're very humble, man.
I think people like people that cocky. Like, people who know me,
to the unknown, you might come off as
a lot. Everybody
extra,
that know me done told me that I'm humble. It's only people on the outside. Yeah.
No, like if you get to know V, man, Kay, like she's a dope ass person. She's very humble. She's experienced a lot. Like, a lot of times, I want to depend on her. Like, it's not even an age thing, like, or rank thing at all. Like, I'm older than her. I rank her. Like, none of that matters. Like, at the end of the day, I still feel like she's stronger than me. Like, she holds a lot more.
I appreciate
like
it.
she has a lot more strength. I feel like she has a lot more strength than me. Like I want to call her and be like, yo, like I know you going through X, Y, and Z. Like how do you do it? Like a lot of times I just really I depend on her. Like she's a dope ass friend. Like for real. Like she's really cool, and I really think you humble. Like a lot of people might not agree with that, but at the end of the day, in my opinion,
fuck them. No, I'm sorry.
No,
I gotta stop cussing.
They don't know you. Like,
yeah, they don't.
That's how I look at it. They don't know you.
They don't
so
get me.
Just take it with a grain of salt. You know what I'm saying? You know what you is. You know what your worth is. You know your potential. You know your.
And that's what it. And I feel. And all I was saying with the big in the circle, just like I say, like you fly on a plane with people, you do like 8-hour missions and around like that, and it's just like. When me and JoJo clicked, it was on some stuff like I had never been on a mission with somebody that I didn't want to get off the plane with at the end of an overseas mission. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Afghanistan was a trip, man. Like, they had me messed up. Like, hey, like I said, I tell you all the time, if I would have did that or JoJo would have did that to that man, I don't care if we didn't if we didn't see a hair on this dude's ass, we would have been out of the organization. It wouldn't have been nothing we could say. So if you telling me that this dude could tell nah, man, fuck you. But I gotta stop. But all I'm gonna say is, but with that, like a lot of people think I come off as cocky. And even like I say, it was one of the reasons I did this episode. Like I say, one of the people I talked to, they was just like, you know, like, yo, why don't you act like what you act like? Because a lot of people out here the same thing, like, just the way that you act, your confidence about yourself. And it's like, your podcast, like, you don't seem like that, like, the way that you talk. But I'm like, this is new to me. Like, you know, like, it might be a year or two before I'm actually, I just had my year anniversary in September, but it might be a year or two, you know what I'm saying, before it's just, like, cold or I'm just like this. But all I'm saying that to say, like, you build the circle that you want. So now, like, I'm not a friendly person. Like, I feel like I'm a decent friend. Like, I'm not good at buying gifts. I rather give money. I'm telling you the truth. It's easier. Go do what you want to. But I'm learning because gifts is more meaningful. Even though I can know somebody, it's just like, you know what? Like, I'm so used to people asking me for money. So when people be like, you're not a good gift giver. Like, I've been a giver. Like, I've been a provider to people that. And it's just, I don't even think about buying gifts because that gift money is going to somebody. Like, that's not even what's on my mind. But like I say, I'm saying all that to say you could build the team that you want. You don't have to look at these celebrities as giving each other $6,000 and $7,000 or $60K or whatever. You know, Ari buying money back. Like, it's people that are go out there, but you have to, you build that. If you know your homeboy won't buy you a bag of chips, don't think that he gonna give you no cold ass gift on your birthday. You know what I'm saying? Like, JoJo love friends. I don't care where I'm at. I see some friends gear, she getting it. Like, it's like, I don't care what's going on. She gonna get some friend gear because I know she loves friends gear. One of the females I talk to, like, she know I love Scooby-Doo. She pop up all the time with some new Scooby-Doo stuff. Like, it's small stuff like that. You could build a team around that you. It's the small things. So don't get caught up with, like I say, with the loyalty stunt your growth. In the same episode we talked about day ones. Don't get caught up in, I grew up with them from the sandbox. They wasn't shit in the sandbox either. You could still be cool with your sandbox partner and build the team that you want. So, yeah, that's how I feel about that.
When I was in the gym.
Exactly, but it's just like that you was. Like, me and JoJo went to Afghanistan together. That was the longest that we've been over there, regardless of what people think. Like, you know, I was over there 6 months. Bitch, I don't know what it's like to be 6 months. Just like people who went to jail tell you, I don't have to be in here 20 years to be like, y'all do the same thing every day, and I don't like it. Afghanistan smell like fucking dirt and gunpowder. I'm tired of the ground shaking while I'm trying to sleep. If anywhere where everybody got to have a bunch of bullets and everybody packing, I don't want to be here. Not like, it's like Texas. You know, I'm saying that wrong. Like, I love Texas, don't get me wrong. But I'm saying, like, everybody walking around strapped. Everybody got their weapon on their hip. Like, it smells like dirt and gunpowder. Like, no, when I think about the smell of sand, y'all just like, ooh, the beach. I'm thinking dirt and gunpowder when I lay on that beach at the sand, because that's what Afghanistan did. So that's why I think, like, stuff like that, like you watch it. I don't share that experience with nobody else. I done been to Afghanistan with other people, but we had that experience. We had that situation happen. In regards to the situation, we got stuck over there. Like, you know what I'm saying? We know how it is to be, just like I say, even just in Bagram where them 13 people lost their lives. We was over there. So that, like, regardless of what people think, like, how people feel like how long you supposed to be deployed. If you in danger, you're in danger. It's just like you getting into a shootout. Well, I was in the shootout under that car for 20 minutes. I was in the shootout for 6 seconds, and it was what it was. You know, like, I was in a shootout without no pistol, and guess what? It's the same as if I would have had a pistol. You know, like, it's not no comparison. So stuff like that, like I say, you was with me in the gym because I can't talk to nobody else about Afghanistan. You know, my family now can only imagine, but no, like, when no soldiers died and my people now, I'm telling my family, like, pray for them, and it was a tough time because just like I have my brothers and sisters that I love through the service and my brothers and sisters that my mother and father birthed, like, that's a hard thing that you'll never understand. To come into the Army 2 years ago and use your life, and you could think, like, that could have been me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, it hit home, like, damn, that could have been me.
It really could
have been anyone.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, the situation that we had, this is a cool conversation to have on Veterans Day, but, you know, the situation that me and JoJo had, it was like a some type of threat. And me and JoJo calling out people like, yo, like, if y'all don't hear from us, like, that man didn't want to ride on the plane, but we flying it. Like, it's just stuff like that where you never know people's story. You never know what they've been through, and you never know how friendships get shaped. Like, it's deeper than we just cool. Like, you know, they say people in the service, like, I trust you with my life. You know, like, regardless, everybody know I keep my wife on me. Even my people at, you know, ALC, and they comfortable with it because they like, I trust you with my life, you know. So yeah, I'm telling you, I got your 6 battle. Like, so it's stuff like that where you build the team. Like I say, don't leave it in the judge's hand on that too, because don't tell your mama and your parents family. Family is created. Relatives of what you born into, family is created. You could build your team however you want to. Just like I say on my last podcast, just like JoJo say, I've been through a lot of stuff. I feel like everybody been through a lot of stuff. I just stopped feeling sorry for myself at a young age. Because I wouldn't have talked to my mama, wouldn't have talked to my daddy, wouldn't have talked to cousins, bro. Like, I wouldn't have, so I stopped feeling sorry for myself and realized, like, people go through the same thing. Just like me and Chris were supposed to hit on in our last podcast with the African American community. We went through a effed up situation. They can't never take that away. They could take slavery out the textbooks all they want. It happened. But Native Americans went through a situation. Like I say, it's not comparing it. It's just showing you. Don't look at it comparison like, well, this was that. I'm talking about it can be overcame. It could be triumphed. You know, like the Philippines got so many different languages because it's so poor and people spread out. So they speak so many different languages for this reason. It's so many places where adversity has been had and it's still going on. America wasted so much food where people walk in an hour, 2 hours, 6 hours to get food, and by the time they get back, they still going to bed hungry because they don't work that food off. So that's what I mean by just like be appreciative of what you have, but it's the same thing where just like you can overcome adversity and it's not feeling sorry for yourself. Like I say, people be like, oh, you wise beyond your years. No, most people go through lessons and it terrify them and it scare them so much that they miss the lesson in it. They just go through their trauma and it's like, okay, but what's the lesson in that? Because if you not, I was listening to a podcast today and it was like, you will never start reliving a messed up situation until you learn the lesson in it. But I feel like that's the only thing, and there's plenty of people like me that differentiate from some people. I stopped feeling sorry for myself and I was like, okay, what's the lesson that this situation happened to me as a child? What's the lesson until, you know, my mother and my father this? What's the lesson with my grandmother this? What's the lesson with my 20-year-old brother getting cancer? You know, what's the lesson with my favorite Uncle Don? You know, it's so much that you go through. What's the lesson with my brother losing his mother and not, you know what I'm saying? Like, you feel so close to these people, the people that you know will be proud of you just for being proud of you. What's the lesson in this stuff? So that's how I feel like everybody can be wise beyond their years if they take the lessons. Like I say, if you don't take the lesson, you're going to keep taking the test. You keep failing the test, you're going to take it till you pass. So you might be 60 years old and die because you never got the lesson in the test that the Heavenly Father was giving you. Or the world was giving you because everybody don't believe in God. So
yeah. I had a friend, I hadn't talked to her in years.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we worked together before I joined the military. I joined the military before she joined the military. And she had this...
Oh, you playing. It's good, though. You still sleeping on the couch.
Anyway, she had this like experience with the military, like far different from what I experienced. I've been in, almost 9 years now.
That's a long time. You there now? You gotta retire.
You
gotta retire. There's no point.
And so she hit me up. She reached out to me and she let me know like, hey, this is what's going on. It was very personal, very touching, and I was just like, damn. Yeah. Like, it was one of those conversations where, like, you didn't expect it, and you literally have nothing to say. And like, my heart goes out to her. I'm not going to put her business out there. No.
It's nothing to say.
There's some individuals that experience life far different from
everybody else.
Like, like, as much as Moore has went through to show her strength and everything she has endured, it's like, damn, like, I look at her like, damn, like, this is one strong ass motherfucker, like,
Jesus,
like,
Jesus,
she's still here, she still shows up, accountability, like, I feel like if I went through half the stuff she went through,
her situation is the same though. Nah, JoJo playing. JoJo's situation is the same. JoJo just went through a situation I feel like will shake me to my core.
Somebody like as close as we are, to have this bond, this friendship, is like, damn, like, if she can do it, I can do it.
We feed off each other though, cause I don't. When just like I say, just like my daddy say, like my mother lost her mother when she was 17. My grandmother's 70 years old. My daddy's 46, and my daddy said all the time, like, regardless of how early and how young my mama lost her mama, whenever my grandmother, the Heavenly Father calls her home, it's still gonna hit the same, So people go through situations like my biggest brother lost his mother. Rest in peace, Mama Mary. Her 3-year anniversary just passed in October, and it's just like whenever I go through that situation, because I have both my parents, like, I could never imagine, like, my mama tried to drill it into our head, and I say it all the time, like, you can't teach your kids through your struggle, like, I haven't experienced that. Don't get me wrong, like, I can empathize with you, and I could be like, if I sit up there and wasn't able to, no matter how much she get on my nerves, my daddy, anybody, if I couldn't sit up there and just roll over one day and be like, so just like JoJo said, like, JoJo is my little brother's still here. I'm just gonna put it like that. Ain't no way. It won't be nothing you can say to me. Like, you want me to do, come make me do it. Like, I'm telling you, like, don't let JoJo fool you. Like, JoJo is a strong person, because at the end of the day, people make, and like, it's self-discipline, self-fortitude, whatever. Like, people, my daddy and them was so hard on us, but I feel like I say Jesus literally died for people to choose if they believe in him. But he died for everybody's sins.
Everybody.
So I just always tell myself, like, I ain't no better than Jesus. So people be thinking, I'm telling you, like, I used to be ashamed about telling people, like, how much I believed in the Bible and how much I read the Bible. Because people would be like, you got some good parents, this, that, and the third. And I'd be like, yeah, my mom and them good. But then I'm not as ashamed to be like, bro, I'm telling you, like, a lot of way I do my life and how I am is the Bible. Like, my mom and them talk to me about the same thing, like, you strong, this and that. Like, JoJo's strong as hell. So don't let her sit up here and lie. Like, that's why we connected. Like, JoJo's strong as hell. Shout out to Knowing Duff. Like, it's a lot of people go, and I feel like it's so much strength in talking about it. And it's strength in knowing that everything don't have to be said. Like, just like me and JoJo could sit in here, I might not freaking clean up the house for 6 days, then whatever. But you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, let's go get some drinks. And then you come on each other's house, like, you know what? It's not going to be like, oh, your house, hey, let's straighten up. Like, it's nothing to be said. So that's what it is. Like I say, build your circle. Don't leave it to your family. And like, don't just let life happen. Like, that's what my podcast was. Like, I started my podcast. And like I say, for watching my grandma, that is my rock. Like, I'm telling you, the day that Lady Lee, I always tell people, like, I'm not gonna be the same person. You know what I'm saying?
I met her. She's wonderful.
That one baby. Like,
she took me in like I was one of her own.
I'm telling you,
like, yo.
And Well, I'm telling you, like, my granny is not perfect. She always tell me not to say it. And, like, I told her one day, like, man, Granny, you don't do no wrong in my eyes. And Granny was like, Heavenly Father, I ain't no. She was like, Heavenly Father, forgive her. 'Cause she didn't mean that. And me on the edge of her bed looking at her swing them feet, like, yes, I did. Like, yes, the hell I did. But I'm just saying all that to say, like, when I tell you, like, my grandmother is my best friend. We do Bible study. Hey Granny, read my paper. Like, that is my baby. And the lessons and stuff that I learned came through it. But I know, like, my being will forever be altered the day that she leaves. And it's just on the fact of, like you say, you have somebody in your corner. And my granny always say, just like JoJo say, she took it in. My granny always say, like, if you love, my granny already know, everybody ain't meeting Granny. So if you meet Granny, my child love you. So I love you because of how you love my child for her to bring you around. That's exactly how we do. Like, everybody don't meet JoJo, and JoJo don't meet everybody. Like, I might know of you, and JoJo might know of you, but if you ain't never, it's like, if I tell you, like, this song Joseph, you should already know that it's where it's at. But I would be like, yeah, her name JoJo, like, this JoJo. It's opening up that, like, hey, this, she here. That's like I say, my mom always tell me, like, oh, that's the chick you spent the night. And I'm like, JoJo spent the night. Like, I don't forgot. Like, JoJo spent the night in the brand new bed. Like, when I tell you, like, I'm telling you, it's a chick that I've been knowing since I came into the service 7 years of my life. And my mom is a different, like, I'm gonna get my mama on the episode. I'm going home in a couple weeks. I'm getting my mama. That lady need her own TV show. Our problems will be gone. I'm gonna tell you, man, that lady crazy. But when I tell you, I've been knowing this girl 7 years, and the way that she treat JoJo, and the way that she treat her. But like I say, it's all about how your family perceive, like, the love that you have. Like, you did my baby fucked up, like. So you gonna sleep in this bed because I don't want to beef with my daughter, and I'm gonna speak to you a little bit because of my daughter, but we ain't cool. Like, JoJo, like, baby, you need some breakfast, the sheets clean, and it's like, my little friend was on some stuff, like, yeah, you sleep in that room, and my mom seen it, like, you good? Yeah, all right, Poodle, what y'all doing? Like, it's time for you to go. Like, JoJo done stressed out, laid on the bed. Like, I'm telling you, but I'm just saying all that to say, like I say, like, I'm not a very friendly person. That Kevin Gates line, like, I'm a great person. I'm just not friendly. Like, I'm a great friend. I'm just not friendly. That's the Kevin Gates line. Mo3 line, like, just because I'm open up, I'll be spilling. How true are these situations I talk about, JoJo? Like, I tell you, like, I'm not making nothing up.
I'm still on that Karen story, bruh. Like, bruh. What you if y'all haven't listened, what was it? Same day, different story?
Oh, yeah, same story, different name. That's what my granny called it.
Different name.
My granny do not play that feeling bad for yourself. My granny embedded that in my head to learn from the lessons. Cause she be like, didn't you go to when my granny, the lady mean though. When I tell you I love my brother, be like, Granny ain't mean. Granny got kid gloves on with y'all. Like, I left the house at 18. Like, it wasn't holding no more punches. My granny can just tell me that she disappointed and I'm sick. Like, I'm crying. Everybody in the world can tell me what I'm supposed to be doing. My granny said, oh, nah. It's a totally different thing, but yeah, that
hit different.
It hit different. But I love that lady so much. I know how much she love me. I'm not saying nobody else don't. I'm just saying that's just like JoJo say something like 10 people at work can tell me something. JoJo say I'm like, I've been tripping. Just like now, like if JoJo be like, you gotta pick up this a little bit more. But only people on the outside telling me I ain't gotta do shit for y'all. Like like JoJo always tell people, like, people will call my phone and they're like, we'll be cracking up. She be like, they gonna get you one day. Like, bro, like, I'm a sweet person. I always tell people I'm a firecracker. I'm not gonna fuck with you until I'm lit. Like, that don't mean like that don't mean like no attitude. Like, I feel like nah, none of that. Like, I just like, if I'm not gonna fuck with you until I'm lit. That don't have nothing to do with no attitude, me and my feelings, and it's totally different. It's just like you disrespect me or you think it's something that is not. Like, all right, like a firecracker can be beautiful to watch. Like, fuck your ass up.
When you're running away from
you know what I'm saying? So that's what it be on. So please don't let JoJo. For anybody that I bring around, like Chris was a cool person. I met him off at school, but he had an amazing story too. Like when I met Chris, that boy got 600 freaking promotion points.
Yeah.
Like he talked about, like, you know, and I ain't even gonna put this thing out there because if you got my Facebook, Overthinking Understanding, you'll be able to see the live, and I think we talked about it on there. But Chris was such a cool person because you never judge a book by its cover. And I'm like, Chris, like 400. He like 40 shooting and like this high PT score, and I'm like, you know, how are you so cold at this stuff? And it's just different stuff that we talked about. The reason that it's easy for him to write papers, he like, well, you know, my mom was a big English major or whatever, and I've been writing papers since I was little, so it's easy to me now, but I put in the work for this. So anybody y'all see do a podcast with me, my best friend, like Tucci always had this like perception. People always judged off this and that. Tucci got a heart of gold. You know what I'm saying? She gonna talk her trash. You know, but we the same way. Like Tucci got a heart of gold. I feel like, you know, she the first one out of my friends to be like married, actually starting a family. Like she got a fiance that's not beating her upside the head and none of that. I promise you he not. Cause I know. And it won't be good. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like, it's just one of the things where it's beautiful. She love her fiance love her. It's just, and anybody I bring on this couch podcast, period, it's like that. My big brother, like, we went through the strange struggle together. And like, even though, like he say, all three of my siblings that I was raised with, we endure a childhood different. You know, like, my little brother, I get my strength from him too. Like, he don't complain. The man down to one eye. He got stage 4 cancer. Like, you know what I'm saying? The year I went off to the army, the year I'm in the army, the FBI come pick him up for him protecting the house. Like, the little dude is strong. So I'm like, what do I have to complain about? You know, my big brother's situation. Like I said, you learn a lot of lessons at home. Like, I never know what it feel like to have some of the emotions that he did. Not seeing his biological father until he was older and stuff like that. So all of us experienced life different, even though we was raised together. We seen stuff a little bit different, and we got to go about life a little bit different. So that's what I say. Like, I'm genuine, and that's a big thing. Like I say, like, build your circle, and like, love yourself. Like I say, it's okay not to be okay. I just did a briefing class, and it was on suicide awareness and prevention. I didn't even know the Army had a regulation to cover suicide prevention, and nobody in my class knew the regulation. I didn't know what the regulation was. I thought it was named suicide prevention. But it's not. It's health promotion and whatever. And then one of them, I think 600-24 is like health promotion and then suicide prevention and awareness. But the actual regulation for suicide, I think it's AR 600-63 or something like that. Mm-hmm. And it's health promotion. So it's just like, I'm just like, man, like, this is a big thing that we should talk about. We talk about SHARP, you know, sexual harassment and prevention. We talk about EO, equal opportunity. You know, suicide should be talked about just the same way because it's such a big thing. I pray that my podcast is able to touch people, and I never want nobody to feel like they're alone. Because I know how I feel. JoJo, we all human. We know how I feel. Yeah. And when you learn, like, you only alone in your head and you only alone in your feelings. But I can tell you, like, I can sit here and tell JoJo, like, you're not alone. JoJo can tell me that I'm not alone. But until I open up and embrace it and open it up in my mind that I'm not alone, I'm going to be alone, even though... Acknowledge it. Acknowledge it. Yep. So, yeah. That's good, though. You want to wrap it up, JoJo?
Yeah, we can wrap it up. I mean, that's everything in a nutshell.
That's everything in a nutshell right there. I appreciate you for coming on. I told JoJo I was shooting an episode. She like, we coming.
we in there.
We in there. I appreciate that because, you know, like I said, I be listening to what speakers big now instead of music. But he was talking about time and, like, how some people can waste your time. And I've always been a big person on, like, if you could come spend some money with me, but you ain't jumping to do, like I said, you ain't jumping to do my part or something beneficial, like, come study with me with ASVAB, or, you know, let's do some mouth to quick. Come running, like, JoJo will come to the gym with me. If I'm cooking, JoJo will come, and the same thing with JoJo. Like, you know, like I say, people will be asking JoJo how she talked to me, and, like, she good. Like, that's how she act. Like, you pushing ain't gonna make a reply, but just talk to her. And like I said, like, I'm not the easiest person to be with because I do handle so much stuff on my own, and I never feel like I want to put it on nobody else. Like, yeah. I never try to put it. I feel like, you know, it'll come. Like, everybody got their stuff going on. It's not in a negative way, but it's just like, the peace and the serenity, like I said on my last episode, Quiet on the Set, like, I just, like, I could get it. Because even when you talk to somebody, you just releasing it and you getting it out. So I find other ways to get my therapy. But, you know, like, if I reach out to you on social media, just like JoJo, like, we got each other's number. If we start a conversation on social media, we're going to talk on social media.
Yep.
So that's just how it is.
Facts.
Check on your people, though, especially with these holidays coming up.
Yes.
And like I say, perception is not reality. Y'all haven't checked out that episode, check it out. But, like, you know, and I can't tell you what's not valuable to you, but Thanksgiving is a holiday for America. Everybody's already on Christmas. So, like, it's funny.
Already? You go to the malls, they already got the Christmas trees.
Yeah,
up.
but I'm
They
saying,
already
like...
got decorations up. Everybody can fast forward.
But I'm saying, like, even in England, like, Thanksgiving is an American holiday. So, like, in Europe and stuff, people don't... So, I'm just saying, like, don't feel like I said, I can't control your emotions. I can only try to be this voice in your ear. But, like, I know some people, like, they crave it and we want it so bad. And I ain't even gonna say that it's other people going through the same situation that you do. Y'all meet up, like I say, it's Facebook groups. Like I say, I'm in a group with people whose family had cancer. Even though I could talk with my family and, you know, like I say, my friends and stuff, it's cool to just talk to other people. We live in a world where, like, social media is criticized so hard, but social media is only going to dictate what you say and what you see and what you typing in. So it's stuff that's on there that you can see and outlets that you can go through. So I don't want nobody to feel alone on Thanksgiving. I pray that no veteran, and I know it's a world and it happens, but, you know, I pray no veteran goes unappreciated. Like, regardless of when you served, long as you have your papers showing you served, it was a free meal for you to get today. And I wanted to go out, and I said I was going to go out and try to find veterans and help them because I know they was probably going to be around. But, you know, time got away from me. And that's one thing big thing that I want to start, overthinking, understanding movement, just want to start. I'm going to do way more things with giving back and charity because that's just how I am. But I'm just saying at the end of the day, I'm trying to say with all that being said, you know, your mental health is more important than any job that you have, any relationship that you're trying to keep. And like I say, you don't have to, just because we put so much emphasis on one day out of the year, live every day like that. Like I say, on my last podcast, you pass your death anniversary every year because it's only 365 days in a year. Yeah. Like I say, but TT was the one who told me that. Yeah. Like, she said that in Hawaii, and she said she heard it, and I was like, I never heard it, but... You know, that's such a dope thing. So somebody's going to be celebrating. So you don't know when you go die, celebrate all of them. And I know that, you know, I'm just saying that every day is not like that. Life come in waves. But, you know, you try your best. More good days than bad is what we hope for. Because me and JoJo have bad days. Me and JoJo don't want to talk all the time. You know, even if we go in each other's house and chill, like sometimes we talk and then we just be chilling. I might go take a nap on the couch. Like, she might just be there. So, you know... At the end of the day, like I say, suicide is a big thing. I don't want nobody out there feeling alone or nothing like that. Like, it's so many made up holidays, Sweethearts Day and Girlfriend Day and Dog Day and
that's a Midwest thing.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so much stuff in the world. Like, make your own holiday. Like, celebrate myself day, and it could be every day of the week. Like, I'm such a big person with self-confidence, self-discipline. I'm telling you, like. Love yourself regardless of what anybody have to say. Like, if you think I'm confident, like I just don't. My opinion weighs more than what anybody else say. Not saying, like I say, I take criticism what people have to say, but I'm saying, like, a lot of times we take this negative stuff what people have to say, and people just be projecting. Like, a lot of people can't stand in front of the camera and do what I do. A lot of people can't do it or pick it up as quick as I do. Some people can come on and be stellar. Like, it don't matter. Like, you know, it's your stuff. Can't nobody do my podcast and put my vision and my dream out there and bring on the people, these amazing people that I have connections with on there, the West that I can. So I got to do it. So, yeah, that's what I say. Like, love yourself. Like, your mental health is important. Nobody done told you today, like, I love you. You know, your life is important.
Facts. Self-love.
Self-love.
That goes with self-confidence.
Self-confidence.
Self-love.
Self-love.
Love yourself first. Put yourself first. And
everything.
Your wants, your needs first.
Everything.
You can't please Tom, Dick, and Harry.
Yeah.
If you're not happy.
Exactly.
What is your worth?
What's your worth? Yeah.
So you have to be valuable. You have to be worth something before you can give yourself to a company, to another person, a relationship, like whatever it is. Like,
yeah, JoJo.
Self-love, self-discipline, self-confidence, all that, it all ties in. So just be true to yourself, and just focus on what you need, what you want, and make sure that you are contributing and giving back, and you leave something.
Yeah, gratitude, self gratitude. Start with self gratitude, and then you build into gratitude and loving others. So yeah.
So have a purpose.
Yeah.
Find out what your purpose is. Pray about it.
Fix your attitudes.
Lean on your higher source. And,
yeah.
And for real, like just get out there and be great.
Yeah.
Just do what it takes to be great. Have that self-discipline.
Your definition of great. Ain't nobody else definition. Your definition of great. Don't worry about you. If you want to be the box, you be your greatest definition of boxing. You ain't got to be no Floyd, no Ali. Them people was great because they proclaimed that they was great. I'm Pretty Boy. I'm Money Team. I'm the greatest of all times. Even if Ali was getting his head beat around and knocked it. I'm the greatest. I'm this, I'm that. And after a while, people gonna start doing it. Like, don't nobody up here talking about mindset speaker. What the hell is that? I'm a mindset speaker until y'all catch on. You know, just
True.
It's your definition of greatness, man. Not nobody. You. Like they say on the airplane, put your mask on before you help somebody else out.
Exactly. That is so true. You can't do shit for nobody else unless you do for yourself.
Just passed out.
What good are you if you can't help the next person? You got to put your oxygen mask on first before you can help the next person.
Yeah.
Even as a parent, you put your oxygen on mask.
Didn't I just say that I said that in the
before
episode. You trying to live for your kids, but you broke. And now you mad at us because you broke. Talking about live. You gotta. It start with yourself. Like Jesus said, from a baby. Like his mama and brother came looking for him. I mean, his daddy, his mother and his daddy came looking for him. He like, this is my purpose, and they made him go back with him. Like that's what I'm talking about. Like everybody. That's why I told you on my last episode, I have never had a role model that was a person. It's always been Jesus. I had characteristics from people that I like, but I could always find fault in them, which you can if you look hard enough, right? But I don't mean it like that. But I just mean like I never look to humans because I'm like, I'm a human myself, and God said He made me His image, so I'm great. You know, like people get offended. People be like, I'm a God on this and that. I won't say none of that, but I'm saying to the point of you great and you are a God and within your own word because the Heavenly Father lives in you. Just like people can take the Bible as a book or whatever, but the same power that He had to heal Peter and them had the same stuff to do, Saul and all of that. So, I mean Paul, but Saul, Paul, same thing. But like I said, we gonna wrap it up. Thank y'all for tuning in to this episode of Overthinking Understanding. JoJo, shout out your social media again.
Hey, once again, it's JoJo Serious. SHE JoJo Serious. And She JoJo Serious on Instagram. Find me on TikTok. Yeah. I'm on there. Facebook. Joseph Gums. I'm on there. So
JoJo Cuisine.
JoJo Cuisine. That's the cooking page, culinary page. I'm on there showing you different things we do as flight attendants for the Army because we do exist. We don't fly Air Force Ones, but we out there, right? We on the same spot they at. Yeah. We out there. We out there. So just follow the page. Go ahead and seek self-love, self-confidence, self-discipline, and be true to yourself because nothing is more valuable than your self-worth. Yeah.
So y'all go out there, be great, be genuine. Thank y'all for tuning in to this episode of Overthinking Understanding. Until next time.
Let's go.
Yeah. This thing better not corrupt, JoJo.
Bruh.
I'm going to be so heated.
Find a way to make it work.
I'm going to be so heated that thing corrupt. But we got over here.
Way to make it work.
All right, Facebook.
Got that one back there too, right?
Yeah, but look at it. Got the camera, got the tripod. I'll put it up if I have to. But this is my first go-to. Then it'll be.
I wasn't even looking at that.
We connect. Don't play me. No. It said 2 hours, 24 minutes. 24 minutes. All right, Facebook. Thank y'all for the people who popped in and out. JoJo.
Y'all made it this long. Y'all some real fans.
Everybody I'm cool with. Look like we got the same. Everybody I got. Everybody close to me, we look like we had the same mama and daddy. That shit is weird.
We related, fam.
We is related. All right, man. Hey, thank y'all for tuning in.